Good morning, Panther Nation. It's game day. Today we got the 5 biggest, baddest, burning questions ahead of the Carolina Panthers matchup with the Buffalo Bills. What do you need to know? All that and much more are going into this matchup. Before we get into it, man, how about a word from our sponsors, Fanatics?
Yo, Panthers fans, you need to check out the incredible Fanatics.com. They have the absolute best selection of gear. Get ready for game day and rep your team right. Click my link below to get yours today.
All right, man, we're going to go straight into it, the lock of the week. Today's lock of the week, we are 0-1 in the preseason, but we're going to try to get back on the right track, and I got another good one for you guys. When it comes to the Carolina Panthers and this Buffalo Bills matchup here, Jonathon Brooks, lock of the week is 18 points, 18 rushing yards under. So a lot of you guys are like, why did you take 18 rushing yards under? This should be easy. No Chuba. Should get a lot of work there. Well, think about it, y'all. He's supposed to be your primary back going into the season, or he's going to have at least an expanded role going into the season. He's just off of 2 knee surgeries. Would you literally have him running to death in a preseason game, right? It just doesn't make sense here. I'm thinking maybe 2-3 carries out of Jonathon Brooks. And if we're lucky, maybe a flare-out catch in the backfield. With that being said, that Buffalo Bills defense isn't playing with anybody, including your mama or Jonathon Brooks. So, man, this should be the lock of the week. If you haven't already, man, ahead of game time, mash the under and lock it in, man. That's my lock of the week. All right, man, let's get into our first roar here. How you guys doing this morning? I hope you guys are feeling well here. Joe Brady, head coach, former Carolina Panthers offensive coordinator, had a message to send to Josh Allen. What does it have to do with our topic? Well, you're going to want to find out here. Now, Joe Brady pretty much said that all the starters will play, at least to some measure. And according to Joe Brady, he said he wanted to send a message not only for Josh Allen, but to kind of, christen this new stadium. He wants to let fans know that we're here to set a tone. We're here to set the tone, man. So that's pretty big, especially knowing Josh Allen and his physical style of play to put him out here. Here's exactly what he had to say, okay? And he said, you have these conversations with Josh and you know how he plays. There's only one way that he plays, right? And I think it's a message to the whole team, okay? He says guys are fighting for their lives and there's a physicality. If you just dip your toe in, when I think bad things happen, okay? So if we're out there going where we're going, all I hope is that he's mindful of it being preseason. But I think I want him to be competitive. I want him to be Josh Allen. I hope everybody else kind of embraces that same mindset and wake up and let's go play some football. Wow, that's big, y'all. I want you guys to understand something. Joe Brady, like I said, former Carolina Panthers OC, for him to pretty much tell Josh Allen that, I want you to set the tone. To me, this sounds like they're on a mission, okay? Brand new stadium. Fans are pumped. First ever game in the stadium. I think they want to set a tone, right? I think they're going to get him out there and they're going to do work early and often. I have a bad feeling about this, man. I don't think the Buffalo Bills are coming to play. The Buffalo Bills are coming here to send a message, just as Joe Brady sent a message to his beautiful, my favorite quarterback, Josh Allen. You know what I mean? I think they're coming to set the tone, man. And Josh Allen, obviously, I think he's physical. I don't think he's going to be as physical. I don't expect for him to run as much, but, I do expect for him to come out here, maybe throw a touchdown pass, maybe have a big play and get some easy work in. All right. With that being said, let's take a look at the injuries ahead of today's game here, man. Last update I have heard when it comes to injury, you guys let me know if you heard anything different. Connor McGovern, center, dealing with a lower body injury. Backup running back Todd Johnson is also dealing with some issues as well. We got Cole Bishop, that beautiful safety there, dealing with lower body injury. Maxwell Harrison, a starting cornerback, is dealing with lower body injury. Keneen Walker, cornerback as well. And Skylar Bell, rookie, dealing with injury. So there's injuries all across the board when it comes to the Buffalo Bills. But, it's hard to feel sad because we're dealing with injuries on our own, right? we're dealing with personal injuries on our own. So Chuba Hubbard is out. Give me 1 second here. My screen has frozen up on me. Here we go. So Chuba Hubbard is out day to day. Canales did confirm that Jonathan Brooks will be taking over the duties here, going in. Also, Trevor Etienne and A.J. Dillon as well. He said he's dealing with a little bit of soreness, and they took an MRI. Everything's good to go. It's week-to-week situation. And he did confirm that it happened in practice as well. So, that's what you got when it comes to the Carolina Panthers. Amongst the other people who have been out for a while, the regulars, right? So, and I don't know if Derek Brown was out during practice. So I don't know, he was dealing with knee soreness. I don't expect Derek Brown to play, but I haven't officially heard anything, so I guess it's going to be a game time decision. But given the fact that they're taking a precaution, a measure with Chuba, I think they'll do the same with Derek Brown. We're looking at possibly, Josh Allen, James Cook, DJ Moore, Khalil Shakir, and Coleman, as well as Dalton Kincaid on offense. You know what I mean? Defense, you're looking at TJ Sanders on the defensive line, Deontay Walker, Ed Oliver, Greg Rousseau, and Bradley Chubb coming out the backfield. I don't know about Cole Bishop or Maxwell Harrison, so you may get a break in that secondary when it comes to those two starters there. So, with that being said, let's talk about the 5 burning questions that you guys need to expect going into today's game. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, sub up, man. We will be having a post-game show and a play-by-play show, too. So, tune in at 1 o'clock, get the live play-by-play. Now, the first question, my number one question is this. Will Jonathan Brooks' knee hold up, right? I said it earlier when it came to my lock of the week. A lot of people feel as if he is the future. I doubt it that they put a lot of stock into a guy who has already had 2 knee surgeries before he has even played 1 full season being the future. But I guess they're going to give him a chance, right? So, is his knee strong enough? You know what I mean? I don't think we're going to get a chance to find out. I don't, man. I literally think they're going to take the precautionary measure. I mean, literally, it only makes sense that a guy who hasn't played a full season in the last 2 years come out here and get, maybe 3, 4, at max, maybe 5 rushes if we can extend the drive, right? But with that being said, I think they're going to pretty much make Bryce throw the ball. I honestly do, man. And I don't think he's going to get I don't think Jonathan Brooks going to come out here running and trucking anybody over. There's a period where you got to kind of ask yourself, man, how hard do I really want to go, right? How hard do I really want to go? Do I want to go out here and try to push my knee to the limit in a preseason game? Or do I just want to get a nice little thud up? You see, can I make a cut or two here? You know what I mean? There's going to be a point in this game, or maybe even at the beginning of the game, where he's going to ask himself, man, am I comfortable, right? It's different between practice. When you're in there and you got the stadium and you got the opposing team, things are going to your heart's going to be racing 1,000,000 miles per hour. And then you're going to be back in your head, can I make that cut? Will my knee feel the same? So my number one question is, will Jonathan Brooks' knee hold up here? You know what I mean? And if I had to make a prediction, I think it will. You know what I mean? I think it's not because he's going to be out there running people over. It's going to be because he's not going to be out there for long, which makes sense, okay? And you guys shouldn't be mad about that either. Second burning question you guys should be asking yourself is, Bryce Young, does he have enough? Does Bryce Young have enough? Let's be honest. Chuba's not there. Keem McQuanu's not there. Taylor Moton's not there. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like there's a built-in excuse for Bryce Young waiting to happen today, right? I honestly do. I feel like the Buffalo Bills are not playing. I just get this overwhelming sense of they're going to come after Bryce. They're going to get Bryce. They're going to punish Bryce. I already believe the running game will be null and void today, right? So if the running game's null and void, you're asking Bryce to carry the weight of the shoulder, whether that be a series, whether that be 2 series. You're asking him to put the weight on him. And with that being said, this ain't practice. We're not apologizing for getting tackled. They're coming and they're probably going to try to deplete you. But I don't know if Bryce have enough around him. Maybe I'm giving him an out right now. I'll be surprised if he comes out here, scores a touchdown. I'll be surprised if he come out here and drive the ball down the field. You know what I mean? Let alone, get a touchdown. Because I think Buffalo, Jim Leonard told us earlier in the week, they're coming to stop the run. They're coming to be physical. You just heard Joe Brady say, I'm doubling down on everybody out here. But it seems like this Buffalo Bills team has a sense of urgency, right? Last year, they had a chance to kind of capitalize with Patrick Mahomes being out. They failed to do so. Now, brand new stadium, you know what I mean? Jim Leonard, the defensive coordinator, took a shot at Sean McDermott earlier in the week. Now, Joe Brady's talking about being physical. This physical stuff is really starting to become a sentiment around Orchard Park up there. It's starting to seem like this is starting to catch on. And unfortunately, I think Bryce and the offense are going to be a casualty of that. Okay? That's the second thing you guys should be asking yourself. Does Bryce have enough around him? Maybe he gets a pass here. The third thing I want to ask is this run defense. This run defense here. Now, you heard Joe Brady pretty much say that, everybody got to be physical, but we also want to be smart and protect Josh Allen, right? So that sounds like you can have two things at one. And with them being physical, but still protecting Josh Allen, that means they're going to be out there running that ball. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I think I took James Cook's demon on prospect. I got him for over 20-plus rushing yards. I mean, with Derek Brown possibly being out, you know what I mean? And then you got, handful of guys on that defense still dealing with what they're dealing with as well. I think the flood's gonna open up. The floodgates are gonna open up for James Cook, man. I really do, man. So, I want to see this first team defense if they're out there, if Derek Brown is out there, even if Derek Brown isn't out there. I want to see them come out here and really just hold the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? I want to see them playing on their other side of the line of scrimmage. They're missing offensive lineman. They're missing Connor McGovern at center. I'm expecting for them to really, you know what I mean? As much as they're talking physical, the Panthers have been physical in practice against each other. You know what I mean? So I want to see where that convert. But I'm not sold on this D-line outside of Derek Brown. Derek Brown is the only person I trust on this D-line. Outside of that, I don't know. You know what I mean? I want to see these edge rushers get after it, right? You know what I mean? I want to see what Jalen Phillips and Prince Manley, and I want to see Devin Lloyd. You know what I mean? Can those guys run stuff, right? We know they guys can pass rush, right? But will they be able to support? With Derek Brown out, will they be able to fill those gaps in and help out against the run? Okay? So that's what I'll be looking for. That's the biggest question I'm asking myself today is, will they be able to stop the run here? And like I said, if I got to be honest with you, I don't know, man. I don't see it happen. I got a bad feeling about today, okay? Question number 3. Was that 3 or 4? Oh, number 4. Question number 4, Jatavion Sanders. Cry me a river. Oh, cry me a... Jatavion Sanders, you already know what's about to go down Monday. Darren Waller's walking in here. He's coming in here with a nice Bojangle box, and he's going to be eating. He's going to be licking his fingers. Hey, let me get that jersey, homie. He's going to come into your locker room Monday morning after the game, eating barbecue sauce all over your Bojangle. He going, let me get that jersey, homie. He's going to be rubbing his fingers across your jersey. Question number 4, Jatavion Sanders. What we doing, homie? What we doing? You know what I mean? And not just Jatavion Sanders. Maybe this whole tight end room. What are we doing, tight end room? Let me be fair. Tight end room, what we doing? You know what I mean? We gonna help Bryce Young out, or we just gonna wait for Darren Waller to come in here and get some quality reps? You know what I mean? So I'm honestly looking at this whole tight end room, but in particularly, I'm looking at Jatavion Sanders. He had a rough weekend this weekend. He found out that Waller was being signed. You know what I mean? He went on Instagram, started crying to Jesus, and and now game day's here. So you still got to be focused enough to go out there and make some plays. So what are we doing? Are we going to show up? We going to pout? We going to cry? You know what I mean? Believe it or not, as much as I love Darren Waller, man, you still need, more than one tight end. So, would that be Trimble show up today? If I had to put money on it, I think Trimble actually is going to be the safety blanket for Bryce Young today. I think Trimble's going to be the safety blanket. But as far as anybody else, I don't know if Mitchell Evans is playing, but maybe Mitchell Evans as well. Jatavion Sanders, baby, you know what I mean? Are you a dog or you a mice, dog? You gonna show up? You gonna make some plays? Or you pretty much got it made up in your mind that you're out of here come Monday? So let's see what we got there. And last but not least, the last question I gotta ask is, who will be the X factor at wide receiver? A lot of you guys, we already know what Ted McMillan can do. We know what Jalen Cole can do. As preseason continues to go on, I need to know that we need to have somebody who can show up and, and worst push come to shove, Xavier Legette get, if he's not healthy or if he's not producing, I need to know somebody that can step up, right? We had a good showing last week with Jimmy Horn and John Mechie. You know what I mean? Let's continue to build upon that. So which receiver's going to show up here? You know what I mean? And I know Xavier Legette, you know what I mean? I haven't really mentioned anything about him, but, does he need to show up today? You know what I mean? Maybe Xavier Legette needs to show up and, if we can get a good, solid drive, you know what I mean, out of the first team, hopefully Xavier Legette has a big catch or two. That'll really go far when it comes to his confidence, man. He actually needs a confidence builder in a game. I'm really hard on him, but like I said before, if he comes out here and, he does the right things, he helps Bryce out, in lieu of Chuba Huber not being there, you know what I mean? And injuries and stuff all across the board. Maybe X can come in and save the day. If he does that, then his stock goes up going into the season. But really, man, I'm really talking to the guys behind him because I have no faith in him. But anything could happen. So who will be the X factor at wide receiver? Those are my 5 burning questions here. Here's my prediction here for the game. I think it's going to be a physical, painful game for the first team. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I do. I think Buffalo's, they're home. They're opening it up. You know what I mean? Joe Brady's preaching physical. Jim Leonard's preaching physicality. You know what I mean? I think they're coming for about good, solid 2 series of just opening up a fresh can on us. You know what I mean? And I think Bryce is going to be forced to throw it. Hell, he might even have a turnover. He might even take a sack or 2. You know what I mean? So if that happens, man, I don't know if I necessarily can hold it against him, knowing that Chuba's not there and all those offensive linemen are not there as well. So I'm kind of giving him an out because I'm kind of expecting that, right? I mean, I'm going to rub it in you guys' face just a little bit, you know what I mean? Because I say I told you so, but at the same time, I'm like, I understand. I definitely understand here. So ultimately, man, make sure everybody stay healthy today, man. Can everybody stay healthy and get some good quality reps in it? And let's get back on the plane and, get ready for joint practice with the Jaguars, I believe. The Jaguars or the Texans, one of them, man. So that's my prediction here. I do believe the Panthers will lose in Buffalo. And I do believe the first team will struggle. And who really cares about the backup quarterback? I ain't worried about Kenny Pickett. Haynes King is my backup quarterback. Yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. Let's continue to see some special teams too, man. You know what I mean? It'll be nice if we can take a kick to the house, punt, return, you know what I mean? Something of that nature, man. So there's opportunity on this field, right? So ain't no need for us to cry to Jesus or anything like that, you know what I mean? You work hard, you practice hard, and now it's time to play hard, you know what I mean? Put that into motion. So I'm looking forward to seeing who steps up and, who continues to regress here. I'm your host, Grande Gato, also known as the Big Cat. This has been 1995 The Roar, a channel for the fans, by the fans, restoring the roar. This is the pregame show. Make sure you guys stick around at 1 o'clock. We will be doing play-by-play. Come watch the game with me. If you're new to the channel, make sure you sub up, like, share, and all that other good stuff, man. We'll continue to grow, man. I appreciate you guys' love and support. Let me know in the comment section, what are your 5 biggest burning questions when it comes to this team? Do you believe Bryce will struggle? I mean, how do you see the game playing out? And if he does struggle, I mean, do you give him a pass? All right? Let me shoot you guys a commercial break, and I'll see you at 1 o'clock.
Yo, Panthers fans, you need to check out the IncredibleFanatics.com. They have the absolute best selection of gear. Get ready for game day and rep your team right. Click my link below to get yours today. Panthers fans, don't miss any games. Fubo offers over 300 live channels, including sports, news, and entertainment. Get cloud DVR and top league for a free trial. Use my link below.